All right, Junkie Nation, we got another one of our favorites here. It's Ricardo Lamas, UFC featherweight, who's going to be fighting on August 29th here in Las Vegas at an upcoming UFC Fight Night. Welcome back, Rick. How you doing?
Good, man. How you doing? Thanks for having me again.
Good. Man, I thought I had a cool Fight Island hat here. I thought I was going to be the one with the coolest hat, but I like that RL from the Ricardo Lamas brand, I guess. Is that just specific to the hat, or are you coming out with apparel?
It's pretty much on all my fight T-shirts now, and with my BJJ program and my fight team and stuff. It's just kind of branding for all of that. So we're gonna make shirts RL BJJ, RL MMA, and kind of get my fight team rolling too.
Very cool. All right. Well, tell us how you've been able to structure a camp during this pandemic. You have the benefits of being a gym owner, but at the same time, what can you pull together? And have you gone through any type of closures and reopenings, and how strict have they been?
Yeah. So we just came out of a closure. I believe it was about June 1st is when we got to open back up. We were closed for 70 days. So we closed March 15th, and then we opened it again June 1st. That was a tough time. I was booked to fight Ryan Hall back then, and then obviously the event got canceled, and we had to postpone it, and then they rebooked us for the end of August. So back then it was worse then, because when we were closed down, I wasn't coming into contact with anybody besides the person that was putting me through conditioning, which is my business partner in the gym. But besides that, I was training by myself, just pretty much hitting the bag, lifting, running, and doing conditioning, getting in fight shape. So now it's better because I'm able to train with people this time. And I think I'll be heading down to Miami in about a week or two and just kind of finish out camp down there and then fly straight to the fight from Miami. So that's what it's looking like right now.
Now, why weren't you able to have a team other than your strength and conditioning coach? Like, did you not want to take, I guess, did you and other parties not want to take the steps to test and then say, agree that, hey, we're all in this together and we're going to basically isolate when we're not and then train when we are for the benefit of all? Was it that, or were you just not even thinking about training and just thinking about maybe protecting your business and family? Like, what was it?
Yeah, so back then it was pretty much when the virus first came out. We didn't really know too much about it, so it was more of protecting myself and my family from the infection, and possibly getting the virus and passing it to my wife or kids when we didn't really know much about it. So I felt it was just safer to just get in fight shape and get ready to go. I've been a vet in this game for a long time, so I feel like if I just get in shape and get ready to fight, I'll be okay no matter what happens. That was my main concern with that.
All right, now I know this question might annoy you, but I have to do it because it's my job. When we spoke last and we talked about the Hall fight, we talked about, wow, this guy's just a specialist that can get on after it and attack the leg. And usually you see a disappointment from the person that fought him. And the disappointment can just range from like, wow, I underestimated it, or I didn't think he could get me. And we just kind of saw something like that with Hermanson and Gastelum. Those guys that can go after the legs, if they get you, they get you. And if they can't, then obviously, wow, does the tide turn. So how much have you, I guess, done the training to deal with that?
Jiu-jitsu training is a regular part of my training. I do it all the time when I'm down in Miami. I'm doing one-on-one sessions with Daniel Valverde, who's one of the best practitioners in the world when it comes to BJJ, especially no-gi. So I'm very confident in my game, and I think I've shown that my BJJ can hold up with the best out there. In the recent years, I submitted a guy who has the most submissions in the history of the UFC. So, I hope he doesn't underestimate my ground game.
Hey, I like that. I remember telling you that story about how Belcher went at Husamar. So it sounds like there might be a little bit of that kind of swag. And hey, you're right, man. I've seen you. Your submission game definitely is tight. You're as well-rounded as they are. You can throw hands. You can fight on the ground. That's for sure. But yeah, it was just, I guess, my duty to ask. It's really, really intriguing to me more than anything. So I can't wait to see it. All right. Now, as far as like diet, how's the diet been like? I mean, I guess if anything, it's pretty clean cut, right? Because you don't even have the opportunity to maybe splurge or anything like that. But the reason I ask is because there's a joke that COVID-19, a lot of people are saying, I experienced COVID-15. Everyone's gaining 15 pounds.
That's true. You know, you would think that like there's not a chance to cheat, but I feel like pizza places have just skyrocketed, right? Because it's really easy. You order it, they deliver it to your house, boom, it's done. So there's definitely been chances, and there've definitely been lots of pizza nights during the quarantine when I didn't have a fight lined up. But now, diet's good. Diet's really good, and I actually just jumped on kind of like a meal plan. So there's this company that my gym is actually a drop-off site for them, but actually through with the whole COVID stuff now, they're just delivering door to door. So I get, it's basically my week of meals, which is the hardest because between training and working and teaching, it's hard to find the times to prep the meals myself. So I got Monday through Friday taken care of, and on the weekends it's a little easier for me to cook for myself and eat healthy. So the diet is down, and my weight is good, and I'll be ready to go.
Hey, Ricardo. So, seeing as everything going on with COVID, I was actually eating an empanada.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Fast.
With everything going on with the rescheduling of the fight, COVID, all that, have you ever gone into a fight? Because we all know you as happy, Ricardo. You're always in a good mood. But have you ever fought pissed off? And do you feel like this fight might actually be one where you fight pissed off?
I wouldn't say that I fought pissed off. I've never had an opponent that's like really been disrespectful, talking shit the whole time or anything like that. I've had a lot of emotional fights, just from circumstances in my personal life that have happened around the same times that I've been fighting, like with deaths in the family and stuff like that. And that's really draining. So I try and keep emotion and anger separate from the fight. So I try and go in there with, one thing on my mind and a job to get done, and I try and keep it professional and try to keep emotion apart. Because if you get too emotionally invested in the fight, at least for me, I feel like it drains the energy out of you before you even get in there. So I try and stay cool, calm, and collected, and just get in there and like a contractor. That's it.
Now, you wear a lot of hats, and I don't mean this. I mean, you're a fighter, you're a business owner, a father, a husband. Can you talk a little bit about, like, do you have to keep all of those separate? Do some of those kind of bleed into each other? What are like what's the funnest hat that you wear? And then what's the most stressful one?
The funnest and the most stressful one is the same. I think it's being a dad. So there's a lot of challenges that come with it. But it's definitely the best hat that I wear, and I live for my kids, even though they frustrate the hell out of me sometimes. Especially, having my son is very high energy, just needs to be active all the time. If he's not, he's like bugging the shit out of you because he needs to get that energy out of him. So being a dad, at times is frustrating, but it's definitely the best hat that I wear and the one that I enjoy most. And I just love it, man. It's coming home after a hard day at the gym and then spending time with the kids is like a release for me.
Tell me about your bird. His name's Cilantro, right? And I see
Yeah.
He's like learning things every day. Now he's got a new routine in the morning. Can you talk about that?
I don't know where she got it from. Actually, funny story about the bird is a couple weeks ago. It was, what was it? It was June 19th, June 20th. So during the summer, I have an outside cage for her, and African grays are one-person birds, right? They hatch to one person, so they're very comfortable with one person only, pretty much, and that's me. My dad also kind of broke her will, and she's nice to him for some reason. I've never really seen that before, but anyways, I put her outside during the day. I bring her in at night. So it was like June 19th. I'm outside. For some stupid reason, I had like a stick in my hand. I had her on my hand. If I have her outside, she never flies away. So I'm like trying to get her to perch on the stick. I don't know why, just being an idiot, because I don't really do that. And she gets scared of the stick and takes off and flies away. And I'm chasing her, like, and then she just disappears. I don't know where she went. So for 2 days, she was gone, right? And I was walking around my neighborhood like an idiot, like whistling and making all these stupid noises. I ended up locating her 3 times, but she was so high up in a tree, I couldn't get to her. The second time I located her, my brother came and tried to help me. He ended up calling the fire department. The fire department came out with a truck, put me on the truck with a fucking helmet on and everything. I had the whole neighborhood out there watching me, but it was too loud. And when we got up to her, like, she got spooked and flew off again. The last time I ended up finding her, she was, again, 40 feet high in a tree. I was like, I'm going to go home. I read to put the cage down there by the tree because they might, see it and recognize it and come down to the cage on their own. So my brother was watching her, and she was like kitty corner to my house. Wasn't far at all. I went to my house to grab her cage, and while I was gone, she ended up flying away. She decided to fly 4 miles away after that, and I guess got so tired she landed in somebody's back patio, and they were like, oh man, they knew she wasn't a regular bird, so they called some friends who owned birds, and they managed to get her in a cage, and they posted it on like a neighborhood app. And my Facebook, I had already posted about it, so it eventually got back to me through my sister-in-law, and got her back, which was like, man, if you lose a bird, like, it's very rare that you could get them back ever. So she went and flew around the hood and experienced street life for a while, and is finally back.
Wow. And when you called the firefighters, were they like, yeah, sir, we'd love to help out? Or were they like rolling their eyes like, oh, what was this guy doing here? How's that work?
At first they were like, I don't know what we can do. We'll try and help. I didn't even know they were going to come. And then all of a sudden, one firefighter pulls up in like a pickup truck, and then he's like on the mic, and then all of a sudden the big fire truck comes, and I'm like, holy shit. And the guys were actually super cool about it, and they were all joking like, oh man, this is call of the year. And I'm just embarrassed as hell because literally, like, my whole neighborhood is out. My whole neighborhood knew that I lost my bird, so like everybody walking around is like looking in the trees for me and like asking me if I found the bird yet, because I got like a fucking minor, like at night I had like a minor like flashlight, that you put on your head, and I'm like looking through the trees for my bird and everything. It was really embarrassing, but I'm really glad I got her back, man, because I love that bird.
And tell me again, I guess whatever you call it, the breed. It's from Africa, and it's called a what?
It's an African gray. Yeah, Congo African gray.
Oh wow. Okay, I'll have to look that up. That's pretty cool. No, there's nothing wrong with you having that bond with the bird, man. I mean, I love animal lovers, and this is an interesting story. So thanks for sharing it with us.
No problem.
Okay, last thing. Do you usually we see you clean shaven? And now that I've seen a few pictures on Instagram, there was a guy named Shelby Harris, I believe. You posted a picture with him. I swear to God, for a second there, I thought Danny Castillo was a guest coach at your gym, but it was you. When you kind of grow in the goatee a little bit, you get the Danny Castillo look. Anyone ever confuse you guys?
We get that all the time. Like, either someone confuses me for him or someone confuses him for me. And Dan, if you're out there, I know you can attest to this too. Like, we get it on Twitter and all that, so we get confused for each other all the time. It's happened before.
Yeah.
He's a good-looking guy.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, I know you're a busy guy, so thanks for taking some time out to chill with us here. You got about 5 weeks left before you're out here in Vegas. So hope you have a great camp, and hopefully your business picks up again and life gets back to normal. You know what I mean? I know you put a lot into that, and this is some tough times, and it's especially hit hard to the gym business. So hang in there, my man, and good luck with the upcoming fight that you have. We'll be tuning in. That's a great matchup.
Yeah, thank you guys a lot, and I look forward to being on the show again.